Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today I'm talking about some eyeshadow singles that I think make for the prettiest one and done eye looks. Things that are going to make you look like you spent 20 minutes on an eye look and it's really just one shade. So if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, I would love it if you consider subscribing. I upload videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you back again on the channel in the future for all things makeup. So I saw this done by, I know Lauren May Beauty and somebody else. Maybe it was Bad to the Brow on Instagram or something. I've seen a few people do this and I've seen it with a lot of neutral shades. So I want to show you some neutral shades, but also some colorful shades that I think are good one and done shadows. So the first one's more neutral. This is from Adept Cosmetics. This is the original Plain Jane palette, but I believe they have the remastered for sale now. And really any of these I think are great one and done shadows for me personally if I need to hurry up and get out of the door. When I'm looking for a one and done shadow, I'm looking for something with texture, like a textured shimmer. You definitely could use one shadow as a matte to be a one and done. For me, it's a shimmer. So all of these are going to be shimmers. I'll just be upfront with that. And I look for something that has texture, maybe a duochrome because it's going to give it more dimension. So I have used ACI 1. This is more of a neutral bronzy shade. And I'll swatch them for you. I've used that as an all over, and anytime I use a pigment as an all over, I usually start it in the center of the eye or the outside of the eye and place the most pigment there and then blend it so that it has the most intense amount of pigment on the eye and I can still blend it out so that it seems like multiple shadows maybe were built on top of each other when really it's just one. And then ACI 2, oh, it's still so soft. Even though these are older, another just like neutral brown one. And then ACI 3, which is a little more like pinkier, rosier, but that's really pretty as a standalone single shadow too if you want something rosier. And then there is more of like the brownie blue shade where it's like a taupe base and then it's got more of like a green blue flip to it, that one on the end. I think those from this palette specifically are all really good one and done shades, right? Where you could take this, like let me just take the pink one for example, and you could blend it all out and there it is all blended out. You could get that kind of a hue all over the eye to get this like blown out, almost smoky in a way look. And the fact that there's shimmers, I think instead of mattes too, it's going to make it so that the edges are really like diffused and blended like that. And it's really, really pretty look. So Adept has a lot of shimmers and a lot of palettes that you could certainly find and do this with. But the Plain Jane is the first one that I personally have had that experience with where I'm like, there's a lot of shades on here that you could do a one and done look with and it would look great. So next up is Touch of Glam. I have a lot of colorful singles from them. Specifically the one I like to wear as a standalone a lot is called Stop Complaining, Stop Competing. And it is this one. It's kind of like a pewtery kind of a taupe base, I guess, but it's got like some old gold, green gold kind of in it. So there it is swatch. Again, it's got like some gold, almost a little red green in it as well. But when you blend that one out, it looks like this. And I think it's a really pretty, like I said, it's a twist on gold to where it's not just a plain boring gold. Sorry if you like plain gold. I'm not trying to insult you. You're totally allowed to wear something basic and love it. That's just not my personal preference. It's okay if it is yours. You wear that gold. I like something with a little bit of a twist, so to speak. So this gives me like the gold, but with the green twist. And Touch of Glam, you need just the small bit of product to last a long time. So that one is great. And then Electrum 2, I really like the shade in Aura. If I want something really light, especially like more ethereal looking, something that I'm not going to deepen it up. I'm just going to wear it as a lighter color. that right there. Now that looks pretty intense because I just like layered it on there, but let me show it to you when you like blend it out a little bit more. Again, it's like kind of gold, but then it's also got that like green flip to it. This one I've worn as a highlighter too before, and it's really pretty. Really, that one is quite smooth compared to the others are a little more textured, so it works more as a face highlighter too if you want it, or if you want to do a really ethereal, like I've done some of these as one shade looks on the eyes and carried it over to the cheekbone so that it's like all one look, like either blushy or glowy with highlighter to tie it in and make it look more cohesive. You could do that. And then for colorful looks, I've really liked Pretties for Your Face. This green shock shade. I know this is just straight up green, but I really like, some of the shimmers are quite satiny. So in summer, it's really fun just to do like this pop of green on the eyes. And that's it. Maybe a graphic liner or a black eyeliner or something to go with it. But I really like that green shade. That one's really fun. And then to go a little more mainstream, it's still an indie brand, but Colourpop, their Jelly Much shadows, I think are great for one and done looks. This one is Shock from their Nightmare Before Christmas collection. I, again, just take a little bit of the pigment. I usually like to apply this with a flat brush personally, but whatever you desire, and take a little bit. I like this one too because it is pink, but it's got a little bit of like purpley blue reflect in it. And again, just like diffuse it as a one and done shade. That one's a little more pinky. But there's so many options, you guys, that if you just want a one shadow shade look, whether it be colorful or neutral, there's so many options. I know a lot of the videos I've seen have focused on more brands like Tarte and Urban Decay, and brands like that for like the sparkly iridescent moment. So I just wanted to contribute something that talked a little bit more about the one shade shadows that were from an indie standpoint, because if you don't know, I really do prefer indie brands. Specifically when it comes to eyeshadow, but really all elements, I would rather support an indie brand. And I really think highly of all of the brands I mentioned in today's videos. So let me know, do you sit there and pick 4 or 5 different shades out? I mean, my look today, I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, I think I used 4 shades from Fantasy Cosmetica Sorcerer for this eyeshadow look. So I definitely will still sit there and use a palette, but it seems to be a trend that people are wanting more simplistic things, you know, like a one and done situation. So I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end, and I hope to see you again in the next time. Bye!